Now, Kevin, what are you excited about from your position?
Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about and also a lot to be afraid about. I don't know how you feel and everybody else joining. By the way, thanks for joining here. But I think we all feel this funny cocktail of fear and excitement at the same time. And it makes perfect sense when you look at how rapidly these models evolve. If you remember, the November of last year is only 6-7 months ago. And that's when ChatGPT really saw the breakthrough, even though it's been out there for a while, but that's when it got so good that everybody was like, holy cow, we need to pay a lot more attention. And as a result, ChatGPT has become the fastest growing consumer product in history ever. I think it took them 5 days to reach 1 million users. I might butcher that slightly, but it's the fastest growing consumer product in the world. And so if you look at the parameters, the number of parameters that these models are being trained on and how fast they grow and improve in their capabilities, you see this exponential growth curve. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I think that's what makes everybody say, oof, this is exciting, but also it's a little bit intimidating because we're not sure how good it's going to get. Now, again, it's been 6 to 7 months since it really broke through. And I think now we're slowly reaching a moment where we can point at the place in the map that we're at, where we understand the true capabilities. And we learned that it is pretty good for certain things, but it's not good enough yet to completely replace content writers. And I would probably challenge that point that it's ever possible to completely replace writers, but it's probably very possible to completely replace poor writers or maybe below average writers. So there's a lot happening in all instances, right? It's not just writing, it's also images, video, fake news, much easier. So the space is growing very rapidly. And for us marketers, I think there are a couple of things that you can be incredibly excited about. One of them is certainly the whole idea of efficiency. It's not funny, but it's ironic that at the same time that we see this breakthrough technology, we're also going through a massive economic downturn. And I would argue that everybody on this call has to do more with less, which I know we're all tired of hearing, but you have to, you're not growing your team, or in rare instances are you actually growing your team. In most cases, you probably have to stimulate or trim your team down and cut budgets down. A lot of marketers are looking at AI in the hopes of compensating for that because the pressure is still there to grow. But then there's also this whole aspect of personalization. And that was a big hype about 10 years ago, but it never really lived up to the hype. We all thought, oh man, soon everybody who visits a website will have a different experience. That never really became true, but AI could actually make that true. And that's not just the case for websites, but also for ads. You could totally see a world in which almost every user sees a different ad based on their background and data. And that's possible with generative AI. And the last thing that I want to point out is just this whole idea of a competitive advantage. So since everything is moving so quickly right now, it opens the window for companies that move really fast and adopt this new technology to gain a massive competitive advantage over other companies, because people who understand how to use the technology, they can increase their output by 5, 10, maybe 100x, depending on what they do. And since innovation is always equally distributed across the world, we're going to probably see a bunch of companies who adopt this really fast and can move way faster than the competitors. I'm going to stop there because there's way more to be excited about, but I don't want to take the mic hostage for too long.
Thanks, Kevin. Yes, the idea of content quality is really important. And Notch hears about that a lot because we are driving marketers to improve quality, because actually quality of content is really low.